Welcome, and we're back. It's been too long. It's been too long, guys, and you guys are owed an update. So here we are, another High Noon Live. Thank you for jumping in. As always, feel free to drop comments in the comment section and join the conversation. If you are in the High Noon group, the official High Noon group, I'm going to be dropping a link right in the comments section, where if you click on that and you got yourself a cam or not, you don't have to have a camera, just a microphone, someplace to talk. That is your way of getting into this show. You can join me on this show. This is a special open, just bring the public forum, the town hall, if you will, into the show, and let your voice be heard, quite literally. So we got a lot to talk about. As the headline suggests, we had to reproduce our entire instruction booklet. This beautiful thing that I hold in my hands is it's gorgeous. It's thick. It's got a nice sound to it. Unfortunately, there are some mistakes and they need to be fixed, and not just mistakes. Like there's some updates that we'll go over in this video about the game, and there are fundamental changes to the game, and I thought, if I'm going to make these changes, I might as well go ahead and make the adjustments in the instruction manual. What I didn't realize was that the factory had already produced 5,000 copies of the instruction manual. So those are just going to have to go in the trash. Or you know what? I may have them just ship them to me, and I'll sit on them, and maybe I'll sell them on eBay as High Noon exclusive collector's items. Never published, never hit the shelves. Rejected instruction manual. We'll go through all that. But thanks for joining in. So let's get right to it, because there's actually some really exciting board game news. There's really some really exciting news that hit that I guess it hit the news lines. Let's see, 4 days ago. So that it was on Monday. This hit on Monday. And I really want to get to it because I'm really kind of excited about it. And if you follow board games, you may already know it. I don't know. But anyway, first I want to, there's been a lot of downtime, dead time. I've been making some posts in the High Noon group. If you're part of the High Noon group, you've probably seen them. But where I've been sharing some images that we've been creating for the new crowdfunding campaign. These will go into the some of it's the crowdfunding campaign, some of it's actually for the box art, because we're getting the box art finished. I don't know if you guys have seen the box. I want to show you this box because it looks really, really slick. Where is this bad boy? I'm going to pull it up because I'm just really proud of it. It's different than what we did before. Where are you? Actually, it's in the High Noon. It's in the official High Noon page, on the official High Noon page, and it's actually in the official High Noon group. So let me just pull it up. Let me just pull this box up so you guys can see this. So I want to talk about this. Yeah. So let me share this. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see. Let me pull this out. This is so professional. I've already got it set up. There we are. I don't want to see the comments though. Like, I don't care. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. So, goodness gracious. Open image in new tab. Can I do that? Can I open the image in the new tab? Will you let me do this? Will you let me do this new Facebook design? I swear this new Facebook design is hot garbage. It won't let me do it. Dag nabbit. All right, I'll just do this. I'll just save the image, and then I'll open the image. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we are. Application. Bam, 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 wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom. There it is. You don't need to see me right now. So this is the box, and I'm really proud of it. It's really sexy, I think. What you can see in there is basically it's going to look like kind of like a strong box. You know, you got the wonderful artwork. This is a combined artwork by Mikkel and Keith. The bottom part is hand painted, and I want to get. I might do a stretch goal where you can get this full size. It's a beautiful, beautiful hand painted poster. Somebody's like, just click it. Just click it. I'm trying. And so on every corner, on every side, I wanted to have the key characters. I want to have the main characters of each posse on each side. So you get to see some good, some good promo shots. And then we've got you've got the artwork, a good demo of what's going to be inside the box, and then you have some models for scale. So this will really show people, who are looking at the back of the box, what's in it. I've never been really more excited about about a box, to be honest. But man, goodness gracious. So anyway, I've been posting a lot of pictures in the group that if you're not a part of it, I encourage you to join. Let's see here. Anyway, so you've seen the stuff. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for this monster to kick in. This is a late night. It's been a late night. I just got finished with a 4-hour road trip, so I'm a little out of it. But let's go into the announcements. So we've been working hard this week. It's been quiet because we've been working in the back behind the scenes. But the big announcement is that our team is officially growing. We've officially added 2 huge members in the squad that we really believe are going to bring serious value to the campaign. The first team member added is a group called We Make Teasers. WeMakeTeasers.com. And I really should have just brought this over here. That's what I should have done. And let me pull some tabs out so that way we can kind of organize some things. Let me smash that. There you go. Squeeze that. All right. So the first one is We Make Teasers. I'll go ahead and kind of show you who those guys are. They're these bad boys here. And basically these guys, why is this happening here? Let me stop this. What is going? I haven't done this for so long that I'm not good at it anymore. Like I'm not good at streaming anymore. All right, so here we go. So WeMakeTeasers.com, they make some incredible videos for Kickstarter campaigns. Of 25 campaigns that they've done, 20 reached funding in the first day, as I understand it. If we see their work, you can kind of see some of the projects that they've done. Trekking the World, I'm familiar with, and it's true they raised $255,000 out of a $32,000 goal. They've done loads of campaigns, and their videos are absolutely stunning. So we met with them. We had a nice talk, and basically, I really want this campaign relaunch to be the strongest it can be. I want it to be big, sexy, amazing. I want to blow everybody out of the water, and I want everything to be top notch. And initially, when we first launched the campaign last time, it was imperative to me that we have a really high quality professional video done. And I don't feel like that's what happened. I don't feel like we got that top quality in the video that was produced. And unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't really driving the bus, and so I didn't even see the video until it was posted in the Kickstarter campaign. So I didn't like it. I wasn't happy with it. These guys, I've seen their work. It's incredible. And let me just, what I can do? I can pull up I'm going to pull up a demo reel. I'm going to pull up their demo reel, and you guys can see for yourself what's going on here. So if I do the share screen again, but this time I'm going to share the Chrome tab. Boom. I'm going to share the audio. All right, there we are. And I'm going to mute me so that you can see here. If we go to home, and then let's see, we'll play the demo reel, and you guys can check it out for yourselves. Let me bring that up here, and here we go.
Oktoberfest.
All right, so there you go. So there's the sample video, their demo reel, and what you can see in there is that there's animated like animated illustrations, and we talked about that with them, that it was really important. I wanted there to be animated illustrations in the cards. There's a lot of video in there where that you saw like real people and other stuff that would not fit with High Noon. This is a demo reel of all their work. But you should. I hope you saw. You noticed like the 3D elements, moving around and things actually happening, like animated 3D renders of the game in action. That's really what we're going for. So we talked to them. I mean, there's a time crunch. We want to have a month turnaround for the video. So, this is a really busy time for them. So we'll see what they can come up with, but I have high hopes and high faith that they can do something. I did have a viewer. Somebody jumped in, Turd Ferguson, if that was your real name. But you didn't wait. You didn't wait, buddy. You jumped out. So there that happened. Come back in if you want to join the conversation. The second teammate that we have is these guys, Backer Kit. And I don't know why I closed this down. Let me do this again. Let me just get this. Here we go. Backer Kit is it's. I'll be honest. This is. It may not be impressive to you, but Backer Kit is a back end service that handles a ton of logistics and marketing and all sorts of stuff. They handle the logistics for projects like Gloomhaven. They're pretty much all the successful projects swear by Backer Kit. This is a big question mark, a big unknown for us, because when we start dealing with fulfilling 5,000 plus units of stuff to everybody, we're like, how are we going to handle that? How are we going to manage that? Backer Kit, the team behind Backer Kit have stepped up, and they're like, don't worry about it, let us handle it. So these guys are the experts in that. On top of that, they have an amazing platform, a back-end platform that's going to drive it. They're going to handle a lot of marketing for the campaign. So that'll hopefully drive traffic to our campaign. This is why would you care about that? Because the more traffic that goes to it, the more pledges that go to it, the more money we raise. And the more money we raise, the more stretch goals that get unlocked, which is more free stuff for you. And so, we really feel confident in these guys. These guys have I've looked through the whole smorgasbord of these projects that have come up, and the excess that the campaigns go beyond their goal is anywhere from 3 times to, I saw in here, somebody was shooting for like $2,000 or something and ended up raising like $52,000. There was one. It's crazy. These guys are top notch. They also have, like, once the campaign's done, all the stuff moves over to their other proprietary platform that allows you to keep ordering stuff. It's like an online marketplace, which is great. So anyway, Backer Kit is the other team that's stepping in. We're really excited about these two companies coming on board. I really think this is going to take High Noon as a campaign to the next level. So that is the new team. We've got some. Let's see. Somebody says, "Hey, Dwight, love you. Love your work on this. Looking forward to seeing what it shakes out. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right. So let's see. What do we have next? What do we have next? Oh, yes. All right. So let's move on to the actual developments of the game. How about that? So I've been talking about, we've had a lot of conversations about the miniatures. This is something, a lot of deliberation of what is the final form or the final look of what these miniatures are going to look like. This was something that Rad and I talked a lot about, and because there's this the market for board games. Like there's like two sides of the market. There's like your casual gamers, and then there's your diehard gamers. And you know, when I set out to create High Noon, it was always my intention to make this game an accessible game for casual gamers, for kids. It was designed to be, if anything, a gateway game to get people into board games. So these people may not be into board games right now. You know, and so we ultimately had to decide what market are we going to target. And we sat down with a game store owner that is a member of our community for decades. I mean, since I was a kid, I've been going to his comic shop. And so we were talking to him, and he was like, you know, you're going to upset somebody. Like you can't appease all of the crowd. Like, you have to choose one. One of them is not going to be happy about everything. And you know, that's kind of an age old, you know, proverb. Like, you can't please everybody, or, you know, he who chases two rabbits will lose both. So I just kind of decided that, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to be, I mean, it's going to be a fun game for diehard board gamers, but it's really a game for casual gamers. So the first thing we needed to decide was material. And we understand, like, diehard gamers really like that metal, or they really like the resin, you know, this thick resin material. We decided to go with PVC. And the reason why we decided to go to PVC was because we knew that it would capture the detail, but it would also be highly durable. Like, kids could just throw it in a box, and they could be like taking the box to their school to play with their friends, take it home, take it to camp, take it wherever. You know, that box is gonna be jumbled all around, thrown all around. And the pieces are gonna be bouncing all over the place. And we didn't want them opening that box and having broken pieces everywhere, you know, chipped off stuff. And Lord knows, I love my best friend Rad. You guys have seen him on some of the streams, but oh my gosh, like, I cannot bring a miniature anywhere near him. Like, I cannot. Like, one time I painted an Abernathy gang guy, and I was so proud of it. There were two of them. I was so proud of how I kept the two guys. They look like twins. The colors were all the same. The detail was all the same. So I brought him over to his house to show him. I had not brought it into the house for a minute. Like, it was not even a full 60 seconds. He hadn't even touched it. He just like grabbed something else and knocked the piece over, and it was just shattered into a million pieces. And so I knew at that point, like it was done. Like, these things, and that was piece number 5 that he's destroyed. Now, to be fair, I broke a piece off of the like the deputy's hand broke off one time when I was transporting the stuff around. It's never been a case where I've been able to transport, like, put all the minis into a case and take them around anywhere. Like, even in, like, well, I don't have a miniature foam. I don't have like a foam case like hardcore gamers do, because I'm not a hardcore. I don't have, like, I used to be. I used to have this like giant case of Mage Knight minis, like thousands of dollars of Mage Knight. But I don't anymore, you know, it's just not me. So I don't have like this really posh minis case, but I had a nice case, and I thought maybe if I put the pieces around and I was really careful with the case, that'd be okay. Nope. Still some pieces chipped off. So we decided for PVC, and when we got the pieces in, I was amazed at the detail. And I just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So this right here is a picture of, this is the sheriff. And right here is a resin print. This is a 3D resin print that I printed with my 3D printer, which is highly detailed, by the way. I mean, it's incredible detail. This guy right here is the PVC mini. And he may look a little blotchy. That's because I spray painted him, like I primered him with some spray paint primer. So even then, a lot of the detail, I mean, the detail is still there. It's still really, really, really good. And if you can see over on this guy, on like the sheriff's pistol, his revolver on the resin piece is already chipped off. So that's something about our pieces. Our pieces, like I tried to make the guns bigger so they would be more durable, but still our guys are small. Like our minis are, it's a 28 millimeter scale. So they are smaller than usual. If you look at a lot of normal miniatures games that like pride themselves on their miniatures, where it's like, are you really even selling the game, or are you just, jerking it to your amazing miniatures? Like you see that their details are like massive. Their minis are massive. The guns are huge. The swords are fat. That just didn't fly with what High Noon is, with the look of High Noon. So I made the guns bigger. I made some parts bigger just for durability, but at the end of the day, they're still kind of small. And because they're small, they're still kind of fragile. So anyway, I took the sheriff. This is a picture I took after I took this sheriff and I chucked him. I hurled him across the room and smashed him into the wall. And because he's made of a flexible PVC that bends, he's fine. This is a picture of him right after. So this is where we're going. This is what we're going with. We're going with this. But I didn't stop there because I wanted to. Again, I still want to appease or kind of reach out to the casual gamers. So I'll tell you what I did. The final form of these miniatures, I'm going to show you what they look like. But first, I want to get to some of these questions because a lot of you guys are asking questions. I want to get to them. So somebody says, "Oof, he's talking about it." Brad, are you in the chat? Are you in the chat? Are you here? Let me see this. What are you doing? Let me see. No, let me see. I don't know. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? What's happening here? Streamer. There we are. Okay. So, guys, by the way, if you don't log in, if you don't click like the login link and follow the rules, all I can see is Facebook user without a face. So even if you're my best friend from 7th grade, I still have no idea who you are. By the way, aren't you supposed to be off the computer? Get off technology. This is your religious holiday. All right. So we've got, let's see. Facebook user says, will the expansion boxes be ready for the launch, or will they come out much later than the core game? Well, they will not come out much later, but we're not producing them at the same time. So we're producing 5,000 copies of the core game right now. And the reason why we're doing that is because we want you to have a game in hand as soon as humanly possible. We don't want you waiting a year or more to get what you paid for. So the core game is going to come out before the expansions. Absolutely, yes. But much later, no, not much later. This is another thing. One of the reasons why we've been delaying our launch is because we want as many of the assets ready to go into production when at launch. Like by the time we launch the Kickstarter, I want our factory to be ready to know that like at the end, like when the Kickstarter campaign ends and we've got all the money that we have collected and we know, okay, based on this is the line that we're going into production. The factory is already ready. Like the 3D assets are already plugged in. They're already ready to start creating the molds. The artwork has already been sized. We've already got kind of some sample mock-ups and things. So it's not going to be much later. I would imagine this has been an endeavor. Okay, this delay has gone on for a long time because we want everything about the core game and the launch to be perfect, to meet our standards. But once this is done, we're basically the foundation has been laid. Everything else should go pretty smooth. So I would imagine let's see. It's generally like I'd give it like 3 months. 3 months for us to approve, 3 months tops to approve everything for mass production. From there, it'll be 30 days to I think they said it's 30 days to create everything, because by the time we approve the mass production, the molds will already been done. So 30 days to produce the stuff, 2 weeks to let's say 3 weeks to get it from the factory to our port in LA, and then I don't know, a handful of weeks to get it into the fulfillment centers, and then it's off to the races from there. So okay, so like 6 months from the end of campaign to your doorstep for the stretch goals. But you should already have a copy of the game in your possession, the core game in your possession, long before that. You should have a copy of that within the first 2 months, if not the first month. Facebook user says miniatures aren't meant to play jiu-jitsu. I imagine that's Nick saying that. You're probably right. Except our new miniatures are. Our PVC miniatures, that's the point. The PVC miniatures you can totally play jiu-jitsu with and it'll be fine. Facebook user says, let me know if you guys want to play tonight. I definitely want to play. So after this stream, I might jump on. It is late though, so we'll see. Sam says, made my own do-it-yourself mini case out of a tackle box and a classic old blue camp foam. Best case I've ever owned and cost me less than $10. Well, Sam, maybe you should create a how-to and post it in the High Noon group, and then I will follow it, and then I'll do a review of it, of what I create. Will the expansion still be colorless resin for painting? Yes. So there's 2 ways that we're exploring. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick with our factory for the first run. And okay, actually, let me dial that back. I should have paused to think. Initially, our plan was to have the expansions be colorless resin for painting for this run. What we've decided is for the initial run of everything, as we're establishing High Noon as a brand, okay, as we're getting beyond stranger danger and really getting into the households, all of the expansions will be colorless, but they're all going to be PVC. And again, the reason why we're doing that is because it's going to be affordable, it's going to be durable, and kids will be able to play with it. You can still paint it, mind you. I just showed you what the primed sheriff. I'm going to do a miniatures paint of the sheriff. I've already painted a resin. Actually, I've got him right here. So I already have a sheriff painted. Let me see here. I already got him painted in resin. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this one, and I'm going to do a side-by-side so we can see how does our PVC painted mini stack up against a resin painted mini. I have firm belief that it's going to be 1-to-1. Already the detail looks amazing on these. I'm amazed at the detail that they were able to pull out of the PVC mini. So I think they're going to look great. So they will be colorless now, but they will be PVC now. After we establish our brand and we're well in place and entrenched in the retail stores, then we're looking at potentially doing a remaster of the entire game. I may even get an industry, I may hire modelers that are renowned for this to basically remodel all the minis designed to be produced in resin. And at that point, we'll reach out to our contacts at Hull & Ale, who is the factory that does the Warhammer miniatures, or the Games Workshop miniatures, we'll say. And we'll get them produced that way. Those will be resin. Those will be designed for the higher, the diehard gamers, the diehard, miniature painters and whatever. If you want to, you can hold out for that. But I'm going to tell you, man, the PVC. I have faith that the PVC minis are gonna look great. Let's see. Talking about me was nobody's ever happy with everything. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. Expansion box in questions was Sam, since you can't see names. I can see Sam because Sam follows instructions. Speaking of the Kickstarter campaign, is there any word on when you'll officially be launching the campaign? All right, so I had this question come in before with somebody, I forget where, but no, not right now, because I don't want, because like I said, we 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 have to reprint this entire magazine, and that's going to take time. That's a major oops. That's a major hiccup, and we've now laid down some rules for the factory moving forward that should avoid this. But there's always going to be like some unforeseen complication. So what I'm waiting for is when I know that the product is ready to get on a truck and make its way onto a boat. Once that happens, we have about 30 days before they hit the shore, roughly speaking, and clear customs. Okay. So that's our campaign window. That's our Kickstarter campaign window, because by the time the stuff gets into our fulfillment center, I want to be ready to ship it to you guys. So I'm not going to announce the campaign until then. Now, what I made, like, as we get closer to that moment, I'll know when that is, and I'll start making some like announcements to the announcement. But that's pretty much where we're at right now. I don't want to make another announcement because the last time I did that, I said, oh, we can relaunch in a month or 2 months. And here we are 5 months, 6 months later, 5 months later, and it still hasn't launched. So, and we still haven't produced the box, so I just, not right now, but I promise you, as soon as I feel confident that making the announcement will not let you down, I will make the announcement. Facebook user says, I need that hat. You do. I stole it from my dad. So I don't know where he got it. I'll figure that out. Okay. So next update about the game. And oh, wow. I'm so glad that I did not do. There we go. All right. So let's see here. I have that pulled up. All right. So the next step for the miniatures, the final step for the miniatures is this. I've decided that, and I've already made this announcement in the Discord channel. So if you're already in the Discord channel, you already have known about this announcement. Joe says, can you see my name now? Yes, I can. You charming man, you. So I've decided that, again, to make this as easy as humanly possible to pull out of the box and just get straight to playing, the miniatures will be pre-colored one solid color, and that color will be the color of their team. It'll be the Pantone of their deck of cards. So this is what it's going to look like. Let me just share this application. Boom. This is what it's going to look like, which actually looks way better than even I was anticipating. So every character matches a color. That is the back of the cards. You can see the cards over here. The Leroy Gang in brown, McQua's Warband in orange, the Lawman in green, and the Rough Riders in blue. So this way, when kids are opening up the box, they can see right away, this is who these characters are. And then when I do this in the instruction manual, again, in the instruction manual, because even in the instruction manual, if I go to the page, like, I had questions. I thought this was pretty clear. I thought this was pretty easy to see who these people were. But apparently not so much. So this way with the colors, I redid it. I redid the look of the instructions. Let me see if I can pull that up. I know I can. So I'll just show you what it looks like now. What is it? Components, that one. Yeah, so I'll do a before and after with you here. And honestly, I think this looks better, to be honest. Hide this. Here we go. All right, so this is loading. All right, here we go. Now I'm ready to share it. All right, so no, okay, so you're going to run out of colors and expansions. No, because the expansions are not going to be colored. This only plays into the core game. The core game is the only thing that I really care about for this. Everything else is going to be what it is. So if I scroll over here, let's go ahead and share this. All right, so as you can see, really quick, This is what it looks like right now. And this is what it's going to look like in the new version. So, already you can even make out more of the miniature. You can see, I mean, if I zoom in, you can kind of see the notches on the ends. So I mean, then it's even like stupid friendly. Like people are like, oh, Rough Rider 3, and there's 3 notches, so therefore it must be it. So that's how that is. And then what I did was I went ahead and if you've looked at the instruction manual in Tabletopia, you'll see that there's illustrations, and even in the illustrations, I've changed that. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and show you that too. I can show you what the illustrations would look like. Let me see here. What page is that? When is that one? Okay, so 16. So if I pull up, what is it? Playing the game. Oh, yeah. You know what I can do? I can just open it that way. Let's see. This is playing the game. Is that what it is? Or movement? I think it's movement. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So there you go. So this is another one of those things where, okay. All right, dude. Okay. You can stop at any time. Wow. I'm having my computer is hemorrhaging for some reason. Wow. Stop. Goodness gracious. I don't know. Okay, I'll show you guys later. Anyway, let's see. Have you tried painting over any of the colored PVC examples yet? No, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, you mean these? You mean the ones that I just showed you? No, that's a mock-up. That's a digital mock-up. So I don't know, but the thing is these colors, they're not taking an uncolored mini and then painting the mini this Pantone color. They're actually producing the mini with this colored resin, this dyed resin. So it should be the same effect, like as if you were painting an uncolored PVC mini. Facebook user says, howdy, Facebook user. Nick says, did you try clicking it for the last time, Nick? Yes, I click it all the time. All right, so that's gonna be the thing. The pieces would be colored, and I had a really cool picture of these of what these guys. Let me see. I think it's in the Kickstarter folder. I had all this stuff queued up. I swear I had this stuff queued up, and then I don't know, for whatever reason I closed down the folders. Here we go. This is another angle that I'll just show you. I don't know. I like this. I'll just share the screen here. So there's an over the shot angle of the minis. So they're gonna look good. They're gonna look really nice, and you're gonna be able to see exactly, who these people are. All right. So that's that. So again, the setbacks, the factory setbacks. This is something that I really wanted to touch on, because what we noticed was, first it started with, we went to the game store and we bought this board game, and it had a really thick paper that Rad really liked for the instruction booklet, and I was like, okay, let me think about that. Let's think about maybe if they haven't produced all the instructions, then we can get them produced with that. Well, then they'd already produced them. So I was like, okay. Well, then when I changed the Pantone, I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and change the instruction manual. We'll order it in the right amount, the right grit, the right paper weight, which means we're spending even more money on these instructions. So you better like them. But so I changed that image, and then I noticed that this guy's all pixelated, and if I zoom in, you can see like where it says amount of gold, that's really nice and clear, but you see the gold bars, they're all pixelated. That's because the original design used a JPEG. I don't know why. I used a low res 72 DPI JPEG, and that's a rookie mistake. Now, that was me. That was on us because we approved that. But then this part is totally the factory. I blame the factory, but I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. I'll pay for it. But the picture of Sweetwater, if you can see, the grid's all off, and it's because it starts. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I think it's the version of Illustrator they may be using. Maybe, I don't know. But I had to have them fix that. So I fixed that, and then I changed the illustrations so they reflect the new minis. So we have to get that reproduced, which means 5,000 copies of this instruction booklet have to get reproduced, and that's going to take some time. So that's going to slow things down. And what we're doing now is what I've told them at this point is I'm like, look, to save time, produce one. Don't produce anything unless we physically touch it. But give us the sample, let us physically touch it, and then once we give you approval, produce 50 copies of this thing of the entire game. Once we've approved everything, produce 50 copies. Give those to us. Once we approve that, then you can go into mass production for the 4,950 other copies. Because what they said, originally they were like, "Is this good? Are we good to produce?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I thought they meant, are we good to produce the 50 copies? And what they actually meant was, are we good to produce the 5,000? And so that's what's happened, is they went full bore, produced 5,000 copies of this thing when they were only supposed to produce 50. Anyway, long story short, we lost a lot of time on that. We were moving forward in other areas. So, it's not that big of a deal. But like when it comes to the box, like I've submitted the box art. They're going to produce one copy of the box. They're going to produce, now that we've approved the miniatures, they can now produce the tray that goes inside the box that's going to hold everything. And then they're going to let us hold that. They're going to let us touch that. And they're going to do this. They're going to send that with the instruction booklet. So that's where we're at. We're nearly there. Okay, we are very close. The miniatures are done. The cards are already done. I'm assuming they went into mass production on the cards and the character sheets and all this other stuff. So it is what it is. But we are nearly there. Okay, so talking about the Kickstarter itself, we're asking questions about the Kickstarter itself. But before we do, we want to touch on a couple comments here. So somebody says, "Weird that I'm not streaming or authenticated anymore." Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Go get to it. You get your homework cut out for you. Nick says, "Way to avoid a lawsuit by not going with red." Well, I didn't want anybody to think that red equaled crime. That's why I thought that the Leroy gang should be brown, because crime is poo-poo. We shouldn't be committing crime. It's poo-poo. It's not blood. It's poop. That's why they're red. That's why they're brown, not red. And I know that's what you meant. So you're welcome. Here's how it's going to break down for the core game. I want to just kind of mentally prepare you for this. The core game, I set out that I wanted to have 3 tiers: $40, $70, $100. I don't want to be more than that. I want this to be accessible to just about anybody around the world. Originally it was $90, then $170, then $200 and something dollars. It was ridiculous. And I get it. Like, a lot of you guys don't mind spending that money. I'm honored that you want to spend that money, but that is not what I'm about. Like, I want your money, but I don't want you I don't want you paying all this money when, like, I wouldn't charge you all this money for this game. Now, I've looked at this. I've compared High Noon to a similar game in a comic book store. And in the comic book store, if High Noon was right next to this game, it would retail for over $80. Okay, fair enough. But if you were to go onto Amazon and buy the game, it would be like $55 to $60. And again, like, I still don't want to charge you. I don't want to charge you that. Not for Kickstarter. If you're going to be putting up money, and we are still stranger danger. Like, I try to be transparent and open with you, and I try to share everything that we're doing, but you still don't know me. And I've never produced a game before. Like, I'm not an established game producer. I've produced products. I've got them into the market, but you've never walked into a comic book shop and seen a board game made by Dwight Senac. You've never gone to a toy store or to a Walmart or Target and seen High Noon. So this is still new. And I consider your pledge a pledge of faith in me and in my product. And I want to pay that forward by giving you a great deal. So $40 is what I'm going to charge you for this game. Or let me take that back. We're crowdfunding, so technically it's a donation. So $40 is the only amount of money that I want to take from you if I were to say, hey, thank you. And, as a sign of gratitude for your donation of $40, here's the game. That's it. If you want more, if you want to give us more money, that's totally fine. I have a plan on how to take more money from you. So fear not, fret not. I'm totally going to take money from you. But I want the tiers, the pledge tiers, to be accessible to just about everybody. So $40, $70, $100. That's it. And I think actually I might do it 75. Okay. So if I do that, please forgive me. But basically that's what it was. Now, originally the plan was to be the core game at tier 1, the core game and Pascagoula Ridge at tier 2, and then the core game, Pascagoula Ridge, and then the Abernathy Gang and that was it. The Abernathy Gang. Oh, the Abernathy Gang and the inventory decks at tier 3. That we've crunched these numbers every which way from Sunday, and unfortunately that's just not possible. It's not possible to fit this many things into one tier for a price tag of $70. We can't do it. We're already kicking ourselves in the face with a $40 pledge tier for the core game. The thing is that and this is like a nut that I tried to crack, because I'm like, why can other Kickstarter campaigns do this and we can't? And what I've come to realize about all these other campaigns is that this isn't to trash them, but cost to produce. And I talked about this in like one of my first videos. The cost to produce their stretch goals and their extra assets is nothing compared to the cost to produce our extra assets. There's no cheap asset. There's no cheap expansion in High Noon. You look at I just looked at what was it? Let me pull it up. This is just a case study of what I'm talking about. Let me go to Kickstarter, and I'm going to share the screen because I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if we're here at Kickstarter. And what is it? Western Legends. All right. So if we go to Western Legends, they've done this expansion. I think it's Blood Money. So, and they may have even done in this may not even be the one that I'm talking about, but so they've raised a lot of money, which is good for them, So let's see, $30 for their expansion, which is basically this, which is fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure that's what it would. I'm sure that's a good price, whatever. But if we go to if we go to their stretch, I mean, this is what's in it. What are you getting for $30? You're getting 8 cards, cards, a 6-sided dice, some tokens, 18 wooden pieces. Okay. Some more tokens, a rule book, and a cardboard deck. So what are we at? 8. So how many cards are we looking at? 26, 32, 38, 48, 48. What is this? 60, 65, 74. Then we're at 100 and 74, 114. Okay, so we're at 114 cards. That's like their biggest asset is 114 cards. And again, I'm not trying to trash this. Okay, I'm just making a point about cost differentials. Okay, if I were to go to, I've recreated. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at the campaign, by the way, of our new layout in a second. But before I do, so then if you unlock a stretch goal, though, let's see, where are the stretch goals? Let me get down to the stretch. Here we go. Here's a stretch goal, I think. Yeah, funded and unlocked. A new card. So 5 cards. That's a stretch goal. Okay, their stretch goal is 5 cards. Their next stretch goal is another card. Okay, their next stretch goal is another card. Okay. Let's see. Their next stretch goal is another card. Like this is okay. Oh, we finally get 5 cards again. Guy, this is like, compare that to what we're talking about, where every stretch goal unlock is a posse with multiple miniatures, character sheets, cards, cardboard tokens, a game piece, a game tile, a starting tile. You've got and then like even the ones that aren't posses. There is one expansion. There is one expansion unlocked stretch goal, which is a deck of cards. Not one card, more like 45 cards. Which is, 45 cards. It's still cheap. That's like the cheapest thing we got. But we have a minimum order quantity that we have to produce, so it's still not cheap. Then we have game tiles that we have to, that is another stretch goal. An entire set of game tiles. It's expensive. These are made out of polystyrene. They have a gloss finish, so they're water resistant. They're scratch resistant. They're soda resistant. So there's nothing cheap about High Noon. Everything is top shelf expensive. So we just can't give all of this away. We will. The stretch goals will be for free, but like we can't give away essentially 2 full games at the tiers that we got. Like at some point we have to cover our costs. So what we've decided to do, and this is just something that we have to do, is I was going to show you I promised you I would do this, so I'll go ahead and do it. Let me show you a layout. This is the layout for let me cue it up too. This is going to be the layout for the core components of the game. You're going to see what you're going to get in the core game at $40. Okay, at $40. I'm going to show you what you're going to get. You ready? Here we go. So at $40, you're going to get you get the beautiful, sexy box we just went over. You get your instruction booklet. We're throwing in a map of Saratoga. This is going to be 17 by 22 inches, so you can frame it. It's going to be beautiful. You can frame this collector's map, and on the back, it's going to have biographies of each of the main characters. You're going to get 12 game tiles. You're going to get your 14 miniatures. 119 cardboard tokens. 144 posse cards. Then you're going to get 14 character sheets. You're going to 102 loot cards. And then you're going to get any stretch goals that are unlocked, and those can include full tile sets, full posses, extra loot card, the expansion loot deck, and possibly a pack of 3D chips and gold. So you're going to get all that in the $40 tier. So what we've done to kind of make this possible is we've broken up Pascagoula. This is the big reveal. There's no more Pascagoula. We'll at some point we'll come back to Pascagoula, and we'll basically package all the posses back into it and release it as another box set in the retail space. But for now, we've broken up Pascagoula, and they're going to be their own individual posses. Tier 2 of the campaign is going to be the core game, the Gunslinger Posse, and the Jenkins Brothers Posse. These are 2 super fun posses to play. As a matter of fact, we just got the final artwork for the Gunslinger. So I'm going to be throwing the Gunslingers into Tabletopia so you guys can play around with them. I'm going to try to get that done next week. So next week, by Friday, let's shoot for Friday as a weekend update. Get in there and play some High Noon with the new Gunslingers Posse. And then the Jenkins brothers are already. I think they're already in the game. I think, maybe not. I can't remember. I think they're in Tabletopia right now, and if they are, you should totally play with them because they're loads of fun. Then tier 3 is going to be the core game, Jenkins Brothers, the Gunslingers, Abernathy, and the inventory decks. And the reason why I did that is because with those 3 tiers, you're going to have by buying the 3 tiers, you're going to have the general store, the gun store, or the gunsmith, and the blacksmith. So you'll have all the stores that you can then buy items from, and that's where the inventory deck comes into play. The inventory deck requires these other expansions. You will already have them at tier 3. So that's going to be it. Now, what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to achieve our goal, our funding goal, easier, quicker. It's going to allow us to have a smaller funding goal than we had before. And it's going to allow us to start unlocking stretch goals quicker. And if you recall, the original stretch goals, and actually, let me pull that up. The original stretch goals was insane. Let me pull up the High Noon. I'm pulling up the High Noon thing for you, the High Noon campaign. So if we go to, we had 84,000. I think we're trying to keep it at around 70-something thousand this next time around. And if you look at the tiers, it's like I did add this Grubstaker pledge like later on, like after the fact. But I mean, there was the $90, $120 for just the miniatures. What were we thinking? It's crazy. Anyway, we come down here, past all this. Ugh. Okay, so our stretch goals originally were this: $100,000 for Father Franklin, $200,000 for some crates, $300,000 for this stuff. And I'll be honest, I don't know how they planned on paying for that. Like, I have no idea how they planned to produce that. I don't even think they did. $500,000 for another 3D pack. It's ridiculous. Then $250,000 was the first. Like, after all that was the first Kickstarter, the first expansion posse, and then every $250,000 for every other posse. Until you got to, well, that was it. Yeah. So, guys, it's just not. No, our objective at this point is to have stretch goals achievable anywhere from like somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 increments, which I believe that we can get to. I believe we can get to that with what we got going on, because so every stretch goal that's unlocked is going to add stuff to our optional buy marketplace. And all the optional buys, anything that you buy that's optional, is going to add to the revenue that's going to unlock the stretch goals. So, and then as those stretch goals are unlocked, those things get put into the optional buys. These are going to include tile sets, expansion tile sets that you can buy, the chips and gold that you can buy, extra posses that you can buy, extra copies of the game if you want. These are all the things that you can get in the optional buy store, and that's really where I'm going to be taking all your money. So that's that. So yeah. So really sad that there is no Pascagoula, but Pascagoula will return. I promise. Just not in this Kickstarter. So that was that. I was going to talk about briefly. I was going to talk about this news article, but my buddy who was going to make it ended up getting hammered instead. So and maybe he had a better idea about how to spend his weekend. But I'll briefly go. I was really excited to see this. So I'll just go ahead and cover it really quick. So guys, Hero Quest is coming back. The game. So for all of us who weren't old enough, we're just old enough to hear about how awesome Hero Quest was. For everybody else, we are finally able to get our hands on a copy of Hero Quest. Apparently, let's see, last Friday, Hasbro dropped a bombshell on the world of tabletop gaming. Hero Quest, the classic dungeon crawling adventure first published in 1990, is back. It's back. The Rhode Island-based company launched a new website, including a mysterious timer. It's currently counting down to an announcement at noon Eastern Standard on September 22nd. That's right around the corner, guys. Originally published by Milton Bradley with art and miniatures by Games Workshop, the light role-playing game was designed by legendary Stephen Baker, who made all these other things. Older fans will likely remember the game for its lavish live-action commercials, while modern fans may recognize it for its meme-worthy celebration by YouTube bardic broadcast. After a series of expansions, I just remember it because people just won't shut up about it and how great it was. After a series of expansions and a more advanced sequel, the lineage of HeroQuest was split in two. Games Workshop continued to publish spiritual successors under the Warhammer Quest line. The latest was set in the Warhammer 40k universe and titled Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. The HeroQuest name itself went to Moon Design Publications, which uses the brand for its line of tabletop RPGs set in the world of Glorantha. Now, I don't understand this. I don't understand the mindset of taking something that is wildly successful, loved around the world, idolized by many, sells great, it's making sequels, it's making expansions, it's selling off the charts, and they're just like, hey, you know what? Let's take this successful brand and let's just shred it into a million pieces, name it other things, and give it to everybody else, and just walk away. Like I don't get that, but whatever. Apparently, they've come to their senses. Hasbro's website includes art showing a skeletal minion with an elaborate gold mantle around its shoulders. Both skeletons' headdresses and his mantle resemble the art for Return of the Witch Lord, an expansion for the original HeroQuest game first published in 1991. Sets go for nearly $165 on the collector's market today, while the base game can command upwards of $250 or more. And this is the point. Like, this is why I created High Noon, because this exact thing. Who the heck can afford a board game at $250? Now, I say that knowing that the Kickstarter campaign we had this insane price of $280. I never liked it. I never wanted it. And I am amazed that 200 people agreed to pay for that. So I appreciate you guys willing to jump in at that price point. But 200, I mean, how many people around the world play board games, versus 200 people? Like, this is not a price point that is accessible to the masses. And it should be a crime that great games, great memorable games are just so obstructively expensive that nobody can afford them. How the HeroQuest brand made its way into Hasbro is not entirely clear. The website indicates the new game will be published under the Avalon Hill imprint, which was recently moved from the Wizards of the Coast team to Hasbro proper. Last month, Restoration Games made headlines when news broke that it had sought to register the trademark HeroQuest Legacies, likely a nod to co-founder his line of legacy-style board games. Polygon has reached out to Restoration Games and Hasbro for more information. There's an update. A representative from Restoration Games got back to Polygon saying that the timing between its registration of HeroQuest Legacies and the launch of Hasbro's website was merely a coincidence. It was a preliminary step of interest, and blah, blah, blah. So that's great. So HeroQuest is coming back. So if you were thinking of paying hundreds of dollars to buy an original copy of HeroQuest, save your shekels because this game is coming back, baby, and I can't imagine it's going to be more than $60. If it is, that's highway robbery. Okay, that's that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be doing some more updates here now that I got some more time on my hands. I had my son for the last 2 weeks, which was great because I rarely get to see him. But that did cut into my ability to, paint minis, post updates, and do live streams. So that's one of the reasons why it's been mostly quiet. I'm not going to apologize for being a dad, but I will say I look forward to making more updates. So I will see you guys in another broadcast. And that's that. Have a good night, guys. Take care.